Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Fantastic Four issue 28, 2022. Oh, that is a gnarly looking cover, really like showcasing the powers and everything kind of going on, and this kind of happens, but not exactly in this way in this issue. So let's kind of crack into this. Now, my biggest kind of gripe is the art style in this issue. More that it's the style more than anything. It just feels kind of off in certain kind of respects, and Sue and Reed just feel vastly kind of older to me in this issue of how they're kind of drawn. But let's kind of get into it. Reed, honey, you can't stay down here all day. But he can, he has. He's been doing it for weeks. I'm in an impasse, Sue. Ever since New York, I've been unable to progress in my understanding of magic. See Fantastic Four, issue 21 through 22 for more. Tom. So leave it, honey. Focus on it later. Not an option. Victor Von Doom has secreted himself away in Latveria for months, and he's taken huge measures to ensure none of us know what he's doing. I can't get it out of my head. What's he building in there? What's he planning? Sigh. Another failed result. I know that magic is keeping us out. Ergo, understanding magic may get us in. And you are, as they say, at an impasse. Well, mister, I've got an idea. You and I are going to go visit a magic knight. It's like, okay, interesting way to kind of link them up with the Black Knight. Perhaps I should fall back to known science, mathematics and physics. If I could just determine how magic interacts with physical properties, I may be able to read. You remember the Black Knight, right? A series of magic guys going back to Camelot? Well, did you know the current one, Dane Whitman, and earned a master's degree in physics before he assumed the mantle? He's another man of science, honey, and he's got magic figured out. And if you'll recall our wedding, mister, you remember how the Black Knight's ebony blade once sliced through my force fields like they were nothing. Golly, I wonder if it could slice through the force fields around Latveria. You're right, and even if Whitman hasn't cracked the problem of magic, his sword would be useful. How did you think of him? I just saw my husband was stuck, wanted to help him out. And knowing how accustomed you are to solving things all by yourself, I thought there might be someone else you might have missed. Might be someone else you might have missed, yeah. Okay, honestly, I just searched magic guy who knows science, and he was the first result. Fascinating. It's like, okie dokie, let's kind of crack into this. And then we also get a tease for X-Manhunt. It's like, whoa, that's a lot there. And I am honestly not that enthused with how their suits look here. And it's not down to that, it's more down to the style than it actually just being bad. They're just really kind of loose and kind of baggy in certain shots, and it's just like, okay. Like a little bit here's a little bit better, from the suits that we've normally been used to. Alright, I contacted Dane ahead of time. He was expecting us. But what we weren't expecting was to find him on a throne. Ah, Dr. Storm, Dr. Richards, please come in. You'll apologize if I don't get up. Ebony Siege demands my full attention right now. Ah, siege in the obsolete sense, meaning throne. Yeah, well, magic demands a certain tone and register to work. You like it? I made it myself. Melted down the ebony chalice, the ebony crown, and the ebony blade to do it. You melted down your ebony blade? Yeah, of course the thing was cursed, Dr. Storm. It fed on hate. It gave you strength, but it took your soul. We were hoping to borrow it to gain ingress through the magical dome around Latveria. Oh, sorry, but honestly, it's way more useful as the siege. See, I sit on this, and I can see into hidden truths, other times, all sorts of stuff. Hey, you want to try it? I'm like, but wouldn't that have repercussions? If the sword can do that kind of stuff, wouldn't the throne kind of do it too? Interesting paneling here, at least to kind of focus in on Reed's face as he's trying to, like, figure stuff out. No, thank you, Mr. Whitman. Please call me Dane, but hey, if you want to slice into Doom's dome, I have some good news. There's something even better than my old sword for that. What you want, my friends, is the Fated Blade. Reed and I are up to date on our magical swords, Dane. Could you? Oh, sure, the Fated Blade could slice through anything. And the gag was, it cut it in time, too, so you could never repair what you cut. Great way to make a door that could never be closed. Or a wound. Couldn't help but notice how you switched into the past tense there. Yeah, the thing appeared after it was forged, the thing disappeared after it was forged in the 1300s, ages ago. Time of legends, really. It's long gone. You couldn't find it today if you wanted to. Dane, perhaps it would be more productive if we discussed physics instead of magic swords nobody can find. Like you, I'm a man of science, but I've been struggling with reconciling reproducible facts with the non-determinism non-determinism of magic. I've been trying to build a practical theory of, oh, that's easy, dude. You had trouble with that? Here. Ta-da! Magic and physics, together at last. It's like, okay. Oh, let's see here. Dane, these equations are wildly incorrect. They're practically gibberish, and this actually saves them later on, so... Are they? Dang it, really thought I had something there. Well, doctors, I want to help you, honest, and I think I know how. But this is better shown than explained, so let me show you. Reed Richards and Sue Storm and die by the sword. It's like, okie dokie. As we've now waited in that long to get to pretty much the title. There, magic. Heck of a lot more convenient than the MTA, I'll tell you that much. Welcome, doctors, to 1915, and to the Western Front of World War I do kind of like the changing of paneling there. It's like, yeah. Dane, we can't be here. Our uniforms alone will... Wait, I can't turn invisible. And let me guess, Reed, you can't stretch either, right? But it's okay, I promise. See that mirror in the dugout? Give it a look. See, that's why you don't have any powers. You're not you. You're magically possessing two men, just borrowing them for a bit. Wouldn't they have been like, hey, could we not do that, please? And I'm here as a ghost that only you can see. Fun, right? It's like in that Leapy show with the quantum Dane. Why? Isn't that clear? The fated blade, Doctor. This time, right here, right now, was the best chance anyone ever had to find the thing. But nobody did, and after this, it was lost forever. Okay, Dane's acting really fucking weird, and we see why later. It's like, alright. I mean, it's lost this time too, of course, but here there's still a chance to track it down. There's a world war going on, and that provides certain opportunities that weren't there before, mainly having to do with every authority on Earth being concerned with what's going on here on the front, leaving them less concerned with what's going on elsewhere. These men we're possessing, they'll be fine. Of course, totally fine. I mean, fine as long as you keep in mind you don't have any powers here and don't jump in front of any bullets or zeppelins or anything. When you're gone, they'll forget all about it, their minds filling in the blanks with just another day at the front. There is an opportunity here wherein we might help free Earth from Doom's control. And it doesn't seem like we're doing any harm. Okay, we keep a low profile, we stay out of history's way. And Dane, now would be a great time to tell us everything you know about the fated blade. Yeah, because how else are they gonna fucking find it? So they pretty much use these officers to... Yeah, the men were possessing their officers, which gives them certain privileges, including the privilege of leaving the front without being asked too many questions. Dane tells us the legend of the blade, who was said to have forged it, and what history has been recorded, and it becomes a problem of archaeology. Of course, Sue taking lead on that. The key to archaeology is that people in the past were just that, people. Their brains were like ours, which meant they made their decisions for reasons we can still understand. True. Suppose you're looking for a lost city. You start by assuming people built cities then for the same reasons we do now. For convenience, access to resources, and so on. When you build a map of what a past people's worlds look like, you see where they would have logically founded their cities. You put yourself in their shoes, in their world, thinking as they would. Archaeology is discovery, but it's also applied empathy. I really actually like that description and understanding of archaeology. And there, in that library, with what's known of the fated blade and what we can recover of that long-gone world in which it was forged, we deduce where its most likely location is. And then we pretty much see him go and find it. Now that is really fucking cool over there. For a full decade before any portable metal detectors get invented, but as long as we disassemble these ones I made afterwards, we should be fine. You're a genius in any era, Reed. Now this looks more similar to like the Sue and Reed that I'm kind of used to, and this is the best kind of art representation here and that I liked here. I've got something. And so, alone in a forgotten field, we dig. Gentlemen, don't quote me on this, but I believe we found the magical blade we're looking for. It's like, alright, before we see everything pretty much turn to shit. Well, I mean, it's been kind of like fuckity-doo-dah, but it gets kind of even worse. Remarkable. Careful, honey. We don't want to give our two hosts any wounds that won't close up. Amazing work, Doctor. Perfect. I knew you could do it. Okay, now that we found the blade here in the past, we can move it someplace where it won't be lost, and then go fetch it back in the present. Sue, can you pull out that map again? There. Fleury Devant. Douaumont. We'll hide it there, then. Dane, Fleury Devant Douaumont is going to be destroyed in this war so completely that it's never rebuilt. The land is bombed, bombarded, poisoned, burned, it's obliterated. You'd have to expect this sword would be too. Besides, we can't risk these bodies we're borrowing by moving the blade across the front. They're not our lives to risk, let alone sacrifice. And how does moving the blade help us? Surely now that we know where it is, we could simply return in the present to get it. Dane, what's really going on here? The equations. What about them? They're nothing, Richards, and so are you. You're nothing, as I get blasted with green energy. Who's usually linked up with green energy? But why would Dane attack? What does he gain by knocking us into some magical portal? The way his mien changed, darling. Switching from calling me Doctor to Richards, he almost sounded like Doom, Richards. He almost sounded like Doom, and we get another great fucking page of Doom just being like Sorcerer Supreme with all the colors and shit. This is very good artwork here. It really shows the supernatural and colorful aspects. Good on this one. And we see that Doom has been manipulating everything because the blade would be the only thing to defeat him. Doom, if you don't, I'm Sorcerer Supreme Dr. Storm. There's very little that I don't, and so much that I now do. For example, I influenced Dane Whitman through his contact with the Ebony Siege. He performed exactly as I desired him to. There are magical beings who have an interest in protecting Earth, you know. You learn of them when you become Sorcerer Supreme. Some even lived here on the astral plane, thinking they were safe to move against Doom. It's like, they're trying to protect Earth from you, you fucking dick. And so they forged a weapon that could kill me. I destroyed them, of course, but not before they hid that magical blade from my sight, somewhere in the Earth's past, where it would lie waiting for someone to find it and wield it against me. It was intolerable. Man, we're gonna have so much shit to fucking deal with after Doom's done all this. And so you sent us in the past looking for it, and I found it for you. Yes, Doctor, you've been so useful. And yet, the truth was there before you the whole time. This faded blade forged in the 1300s. Did you even consider its name for even a moment? Middle English, Susan. What was its word for fate? Come now, you should know this. Doom. Correct. The one magical weapon that could hurt me, the Doom Blade, Susan. You found it, and I now destroyed it. It's amusing. I'm almost in your debt. But why? Why hide Latveria from the world? Why hide yourself for months? What are you planning, Victor? Planning? Time for planning was months ago, you ludicrous fool. What I have achieved is already done. What I have achieved, as Raid's trying to grab him with his fucking, feet hands. Like, he's stretching his feet and making hands out of him. That's kind of fucking crazy. That's a nice little touch there. Well, I suppose it's best put plainly. Richards, I've taken over the world. As we see him attempting to pretty much squeeze them in, green energy orbs. I want you to know that before I killed you, a final gift so that you might truly understand the depth and breadth of your loss. I push against the magical spear crushing me with all my might, but it's no good. This is the astral plane, Doom's home turf. My powers can't stop him here. And then I realized there's strange moments with Dane. Could they have been him fighting back against Doom's control, trying to warn us? I don't know if it's possible, and I don't know if it's true, but I know who could figure it out. Read the equations! And we then see something actually really kind of cool going on. Reed tells me later how when he brought Dane's equations to mind, he could see they were still gibberish. So much so, in fact, that someone with a graduate degree in physics could never write them. The errors they contained were wild, improbable, elementary, almost like someone was trying to hide a message in the mathematics, slipping them past Doom's watching eyes, by encoding them in a way only a physicist could see. Great Scott, they're words! Dane had given Reed a gift, magic words to trigger a spell, and all he had to do was cast it, which is, unfortunately, the one thing he's never been able to do on his own. But the man I love has spent 6 months studying magic. Reed Richards draws on everything he's got, and everything Dane's given him, as we see Reed perform the spell, and cracks him out of there. And he sends us home. Ha! That is the best you could manage, Richards? I leave you alone for half a year, and in all that time, all you learn is how to run and cower like a wounded dog. Incredible. The Fantastic Four truly are useless. It's like, wait a bit, bitch. We arrive back in New York City. Reed just cast his first spell, with help, of course, and it'll take more study, more work to do it again, but it's a huge milestone. Unfortunately, now, there's no chance for further study. There's no more time for any of us. Now, I like Sue's, incredulous look here. Reed's face is kind of a little bit weird there. It's like, okay. For Doom has come to Earth, as we see. Emperor Doom announces Global United Latveria. Continued in One World Under Doom, Issue 1. Well, ain't that a motherfucker. Some, fan letters. And then, of course, Doom, One World Under Doom, which I'll be checking out in Fantastic Four, Issue 29, which it looks like we're having She-Hulk popping up. So, I enjoyed this issue because I did like them kind of going into the magical kind of aspects. I wish we'd actually gotten the Black Knight, even though I did like the twist that it was Doom using them to get a blade out of play that could fuck with him and kill him, and learning that he's actually killed other entities that were trying to protect the Earth because they're like, fuck this guy, and he's killed them. That's going to have severe magical repercussions, so we'll have to see how that kind of works out. So, I definitely liked how the story kind of worked out. It's just the art really wasn't for me. I don't think it was bad, but it just did not work style-wise for me, with kind of sometimes presenting older-looking Reed and Sue's and kind of stranger, kind of looser-fitting kind of Fantastic Four outfits that just didn't fit with what I pretty much have been used to with other kind of artists on this title before. But it didn't completely rob me of any enjoyment, and it still kind of kept up with definitely Reed trying to figure out how to work with magic, and him being able to actually cast a spell is pretty big character development for him, specifically since he's pretty much just been like a science kind of focused kind of character. So we'll see how this kind of works out. Of course, One World Under Doom starting to crack off soon, and that's of course going to have big repercussions on here in the Fantastic Four, and we'll see what kind of happens out onto that. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.